Hey everybody, this is Everyday Commentary, and this is a Sweet Stuff Saturday recorded on a Saturday, and on the table are the things I've gotten over the past month in for review, and there is a wide variety of things. We have USA made, we have made in China stuff, we have modern traditional design, we have a sliding bar lock on a Kershaw, we got a lot of cool stuff. So let's take a look at what we've got, and then we'll talk about each one of them individually. So this is the Pokelit AA 10th Anniversary Edition from AceBeam. This is a 14500, which is a AA. It runs either on the lithium-ion 14500 that comes included with a charger at the top of the battery, or it can run on NIMS. If you run it off of the included battery, it produces 500 lumens on high. It steps down to 190. One thing that I noticed about the light, and you can see it here, the beam is really clean, really clean. I don't know if you can make it out, but there is a very defined hot spot with no like center bullseye effect. And then there is a very defined spill. The color rendering on this light is excellent. This is on sale for about 80 bucks, and AceBeam sent this to me for review. This one is the titanium one. It does not tail stand, but other than that, it is a really extraordinarily good light. This is a pretty straightforward and simple light. The clicky on the back is what I use. It's very nice and easy. One thing that I will note is that they have just the texturing here to give you purchase. They don't need it to go all the way up there, so that's what they did. It's a very compact 1AA light. The other light on the table is a light from a brand that I have never used before. This is from Skilhunt, and this is the EC200R. I think it's the EC200, but they have different ending letters depending on what option you got. So this is a triple, and it comes with built-in USB-C charging, though you can take the battery out. You do not need to worry that this is something that you can't replace the battery. It has a two-way clip. It is a friction fit clip, and I have yet to have it fall off. It is very good. In many ways, it sort of reminds me of the friction fit clips on the 4.7's lights. This light has a side clicky. The side clicky is not quite as good or as well done as like the side clicky on a Zebra light, which are the best side clickies. I have had it hot pocket once. I was carrying a bunch of stuff and was sort of contorting to do something, and it came on and it got really hot. So I noticed right away, but it got really hot. Another thing that I would point out is if you're accessing this light in the dark, this feels a lot like this. The rubber boot that covers the button and the rubber cover that covers the charging port, they have a very similar feel in the dark. And so what I did was I put the clip to one side so that I index it like this. And when I pick it up, I know that the clip is on the left-hand side and I can activate it. That being said, I don't like this design because it's not something that automatically, like you hit that and you're like, oh no, the light's not working, and then you flip it over and you're like, oh, okay, it's on. There should be some other place or some other way to distinguish it. The other thing that you could do, and I will eventually do this, is move the clip over this. But then when it comes time to charge, the clip is actually very hard to move. So that's not a great option. The option that I chose is to have it index on the left-hand side. Not only does that give me a little bit more purchase, but it also is easier for me to remember. If I'm like this, then no, this is right. This light has a great UI. This is one of the more complex lights that I'm going to bother to buy. I mean, there are some that use like Andro 2. They're really complex, but this is a really complex light with a relatively simple UI. So if it's the hit once and it comes on, hold it, it comes on low, and then double tap for high. Okay, so that's the first level. Now, if you hold it on low, it will eventually switch to red. Now, while it's in red, you can switch it up higher. So it gives you access to the secondary emitter from the main menu. So again, tap it, comes on, low, firepower, and then low into red. And then once it's in red, you can do the same thing to ramp it up. It is a super good UI. Very intuitive. I've not had any mistakes. I've also not got lost in the mode maze where I couldn't get the light to work. So I really do like it. It does have a lockout feature if you want to use it in your pocket. That's not that difficult to do. And if you want to break the lockout, you can either unlock it or you can undo the tail cap and put it back on and it'll unlock it. I really, really like this light. It has a magnet in the base. It tail stands. It has the light escapes so you can see if the light has been left on. Overall, really, really good light. I want to shout out Zero Air. Zero Air is a great website. If you're looking for flashlight reviews, he is as comprehensive as you will ever find. He's got a ton of reviews up. He probably posts 4 or 5 reviews a week. It's crazy, and he's been doing it for years. Go and take a look at his website. He was the one that recommended the Skilhunt, and everything he wrote, I agree with. I'm going to post a review of this, but this is a really complex light, so I want to get a better handle on how it works. By the way, if you notice, inside each of the triple, there is a little bit of a reflector. And so there is some beam pattern to it. It's not just, wallow light. So really, really like the Skilhunt EC200. The next thing is the Daedalus Knives Labrador. This is a collaboration between Lundquist and Essex, and it is a modern traditional. This is something like, I don't know, kind of has a buck 110 shape. There's like a bunch of different traditional knives that this sort of emulates. It has a clip point blade, which is very unusual. It has this long groove, which you can use if you need to. You can get under there and you can open the knife that way. I do not like opening the knife that way. The knife's handle is really, really good in the back end. It has like a little bit of a butt here, so you have something to grab onto. The clip is excellent. This is very similar to, it's a curved version, but very similar to the way the small Shimori clip works. Except it's screwed on in the inside. Really excellent, excellent clip design. No hot spots whatsoever. This blue ano is the coolest blue I have ever seen. The checker pattern offers some grip, but nothing super duper crazy. The blade is 154 cm, and 154 cm is chosen for a reason. This is designed to be an inexpensive but well-made knife. And so this knife comes in around, I want to say like 150 bucks. The handle is aluminum, not titanium, and the liner inside is a steel liner. God bless you. Oh. The knife itself is really, really nice looking. I love the look of this blade. It just looks good. It came sharp out of the box. It is a little thick, but the clip point plus the groove just gives this knife a real unique look. The other thing that I like is this has a negative blade angle. So if you think about it like this, if it goes out, it's a 0 degree blade angle. If it goes up, not very many knives go up, but if it goes up from the handle, then it's a positive blade angle. If it goes down below the plane of the handle, that's a negative blade angle. And what this does is this gives you almost all the benefits of a recurve. So like if you want to grab the rope and pull through, it's going to force the blade's shape, the negative angle is going to force the cut to come through at an angle as opposed to sort of doing just like a chopping cut. It's going to like that instead. And that makes it easier to cut through material. This is a trick that you see on a lot of well-designed knives, especially older knives. They'll have this negative blade angle so that the belly, the bottom of the blade, or the bottom of the handle and the bottom of the blade start out in parallel, and then slowly but surely the knife's belly, the curve, the sharpened edge goes below the handle. Really, really good looking knife. And I love that feature on this knife. Overall, I like it a lot. It's easy to open as a front flipper. I know a lot of people don't like front flippers. If you don't like front flippers, this is not the knife for you, because every other way to open this knife is not great. Really, really good looking blue anno. I love it. Nice looking knife. Good looking knife for the price. And here's the problem. You come up against competition like this. This is the Kershaw Bel Air. This is a knife that I've been aiming to get for a while, and I finally got it in. It is around 170 bucks, so maybe 20 bucks more than the Daedalus. And it is American made with Magna Cut steel, and it is paper thin. Paper thin. Knife companies are starting to make thin blades. Took a long time for us beating the drum to get them to make smaller blades, and now the drumbeat of the thinner blade seems to have finally caught on. This is an excellent knife. In many ways, this reminds me of the Bug Out. It's thin, it's got a relatively simple handle, it's got the sliding bar lock. I forget what Kershaw calls it. It's not, they can't call it the axis lock because that is actually trademarked. This is Duralock or something like that. I don't know. Maybe a little bit of a rear exposure angle, but not rear tang, but not too much. You're not going to catch anything in there. It's going to pop right out. Deep carry over the top pocket clip. It's actually so deep carry that it's over the scale. I'm not sure I like that look. I'd like it to be flush with the scale, but it's not enough to complain about. The blade is a reverse Tonto. And this is actually a knife that has a positive blade angle. You can see that. It actually comes up. Look, so you can go there, and you can compare that one to this one. And you can see how this one kind of goes down, and this one goes up. So interesting blade shape here, like a real broad reverse Tonto. Very, very slim, thin in the front. One of the concerns that I have, and this is something that came up with the Kershaw leak, is that tip tends to get a little bendy. My guess is that the Magna Cut's going to be hard enough that that doesn't happen. I actually like these champagne aluminum scales. Really nice looking scales. Love the color. I always like black wash blades. They kind of just look cooler, like beat up a little bit. I like that a lot. This is going to be a knife I carry a lot. It's got a lot of competition, but I'm telling you, this is one of those knives you just like, you get out of the box and you're like, oh, that's good. Really, really good. In fact, I'm going to do a video in a second about comparing these two knives. And when you're in a comparison with the TRM Neutron, that's a good place to be. So that was a look at the Skilhunt EC200, the Pokelit AA, the Daedalus Knives Labrador, and the Kershaw Knives Bel Air.